Engineering.
Go.
This is the flight director. New Shepard is go for launch. Booster, commence terminal count.
Wilco.
Controllers, drop UH.
All right,
F
you guys, that poll, I love to hear it. It's always a thrill, goosebumps every time. You know, it really is the final waypoint to get us clear for takeoff today.
Game on, Isabella, and that was voice of flight director Michelle Christensen, who used to test BE-4 engines, and now she's running the whole show there in mission control. I mean, I'm ready. Are you ready?
Let's get her up there. Let's light this candle.
All right, thanks for joining us. We're at T-minus 8 minutes until liftoff. Let's take a moment and talk about the flight profile of New Shepard.
So New Shepard is a suborbital flight, and it's a fantastic way to be able to experience space because it is so accessible. It's a simple parabolic flight, so that means we're going to go straight up and straight back down when we're talking about that flight path, and it spans about 15 minutes total.
Right, the New Shepard rocket has developed a vertical takeoff, vertical landing architecture, and we want to dive in a little deeper on today's flight profile so you know what to look for.
7, 6.
New Shepard's mission
5,
begins when the
4,
countdown clock reaches 0.
2, 1, 0.
At this point, the engine will start and the rocket will lift off of the pad. It will continue under the boost phase for about 2.5 minutes until main engine cutoff. 20 seconds later, the crew capsule will separate from the booster and the astronauts will unharness and enjoy 0G. The crew capsule will continue past the Kármán line to an ultimate apogee of 350,000 feet, or 100 kilometers. The booster will autonomously land on the landing pad, ready to be prepped for its next flight. Around 3.5 minutes after separation, the crew capsule will begin to re-enter Earth's atmosphere. Parachutes will deploy around an altitude of 7,000 feet, or 2,100 meters, providing a nice, slow descent back to Earth. After landing, astronauts exit the capsule and are greeted by the Blue Origin ground crew, family, and friends to celebrate and reflect on their flight. New Shepard, an adventure unlike anything on Earth.
Okay, we're at T-minus 6 minutes. Let's take a moment and toss it over to New Shepard as we get down to the final minutes for our liftoff time. And there we have it, tuning into the action at the pad. Welcome back, everyone. We're at T-minus 4 minutes and counting. As New Shepard awaits liftoff, we'll go through a series of final vehicle checks, right? An auto sequencer, a computer really takes over and completes what are called bit checks, built-in tests. And we'll see them on our screen. As we see them, we'll call them out for situational awareness, but these last few minutes prior to T0 are jam-packed, full of excitement and final checks as we get ready for NS-30, 10th human flight.
And that it just takes a long time and we don't want the astronauts winded and like breathe hard in the top.
Now, right before we get into bit checks, you're hearing audio from guests that are watching nearby, almost as close as you can be to the New Shepard rocket. So if we've got some good reactions, we'll plan on sharing those with you all as we do takeoff. Oh, what a wonderful drone shot there approaching the launch pad. Isabella, you and I have been out there in West Texas for earlier launches. This is prime time right now. Adrenaline is high, and it's just exciting to be out there in West Texas. Looks like a beautiful day.
It certainly is. My heart's going out right now to the families that are getting ready to watch their loved ones soar to the stars. You know, when I'm out there in Texas, otherwise, I typically am going to be holding the hands and holding on to those loved ones as, again, they are getting ready to see their loved ones have the journey that they will never forget.
2 minutes and counting, a great view here of all sides, really, of our launch pad, New Shepard, Tail 4, RSS, first step. It's all coming together beautifully here.
Such a great backdrop for when one's going to go to space. We love to see those beautiful mountains in the background.
All right, less than 90 seconds to go. We're hearing hydraulic checks, pressurization system tests. Let's see what else we see. And those are the aft fins at the base of the vehicle that are moving through their full range of motion, again, completing their bit checks. These fins steer the vehicle on ascent and descent. "60 seconds. Just under 30 seconds. It's time to hand it off to mission control and launch this rocket.
T-minus 10. Go to proceed. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Command engine start. 2, 1. Ignition.
What a great takeoff shot. New Shepard is cleared the tower. Note on the bottom left that we have our speed and altitude graphics that will increase. They'll get faster and faster as the atmosphere gets thinner. And we've got B3 right now pushing the New Shepard rocket at 100% power level.
How exciting about 3G our astronauts would be experiencing as they are ascending into space.
What are they doing? You did this. I know, it's crazy. Lunatic.
And again, the team here has been able to bring us that audio from the families that are watching as close as you can get to this launch and cheering on this flight crew, a perfect 10. Godspeed, New Shepard. Godspeed, a perfect 10. It's, I mean, certainly look at that BE3 plume. It's the colorless plume of a liquid oxygen, liquid hydrogen engine. Throttling back right now for max Q. Actually, we've passed max Q, so BE3 is back to 100% power level. So from here on out, Isabella, we're going to be faster and faster as the atmosphere gets thinner and thinner.
Look at her soar.
We've got a beautiful contrail there that the cameras are picking up, right? So that's just the moisture condensing as New Shepard pierces through the atmosphere.
Mach 2, twice the speed of sound.
Oh my God.
We had a call there for Mach 2 from one of the observers. They must be tuned into the telemetry as well. That's twice the speed of sound, and this crew is supersonic.
Joyous with laughter.
Right here in about 15 seconds, we anticipate the next milestone to be main engine cutoff. Miko, let's look for that. There we have it. Miko, in short succession here, will be vehicle separation, and then our astronauts will get to experience 0G prior to capsule apogee. Great view there from the propulsion module, looking down to West Texas, my favorite part of this world. The 0G indicator is flashing. We are getting very close to apogee there. You'll see the velocity meter hit 0.
I can only imagine what our astronauts are feeling right now. They have made it to what they came for today. They are in space, floating at 0G.
Oh, and enjoying these views, right? From some of the largest windows to have ever flown in space. We hear their reflections on the way back, but I can't imagine what they're seeing.
To the loved ones on the ground, wave hello. Your loved ones are in space.
And this tracking shot there, you can see both vehicles there in the middle of your screen as they reach apogee. Okay, we have apogee. We're on the way back down. We're beyond the Kármán line. What an exciting, exciting mission for a perfect 10. Wow, yeah, we've got great astronaut audio coming in. I heard
1 minute warning
of, excitement. And the 1 minute warning of microgravity so that the astronauts have full situational awareness of how much longer they've got in microgravity. Well, you can notice the telemetry on the bottom of your screen is tracking the telemetry of the booster. So it is coming in faster and faster, and the altitude is decreasing over time. Go ahead.
What a great shot, though, being able to see both the booster and the capsule as they make their separate returns back to planet Earth.
Yeah, no, a clear day for weather. Everything's been picture perfect so far. And now we anticipate the booster will land about 2 miles north of the launch pad on our landing pad, right? And as we start to reach that atmospheric pierce point, those aerodynamic control surfaces on the booster begin to do more and more work. And so we expect that booster first and then our crew capsule. Just a great shot there about how the booster was getting faster, more quickly relative to the gumdrop-shaped crew capsule. Yeah, look, it just looks like the booster is floating, right? It's perfectly positioned. We do have those forward fins, it looks like, have been deployed, and those aft fins, you can even see them moving as they're steering the booster over the landing pad. Coming up, we'll see the drag brakes deploy. Oh, there they are, wow. Look at those deploying, and this cuts the speed of the booster in half.
Such a clean and smooth descent on that booster. Mighty impressive, Team Blue.
B3 engine relight. Here we go. Last 1,000 feet over the landing pad. And a great drone shot with Guadalupe Peak in the background. Looks like touchdown, tail 4. Wow. Welcome back to Earth, New Shepard booster. Incredible shot.
Phenomenal job, Team Blue. But everyone watching at home, stay tuned, hang in there. This show is not over by a long shot. Soon here, we're going to be seeing our capsule and know that our astronauts are returning home safely to Earth. Much to stay tuned for.
Right, and so these folks now are seated, they're buckled, they're experiencing 5Gs, and then we've got the shot of the crew capsule coming in.
How phenomenal. Again, Eddie, as you mentioned, that is gumdrop shaped, so that way it can help on its return to Earth, ensuring that it slows its descent. Now, while the parachutes are essential to providing...
Sorry to interrupt. Those are the drogues. Those drogue chutes will pull the main parachutes out here shortly. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Isabella.
No, we want to see those drogues come out because shortly here, we are anticipating our wonderful parachutes. Here they are now. And as they expand, we have not one, not two, but 3 beautiful, fully broadened, wonderful parachutes. Look at those go. Now, those parachutes are what's going to help make a gentle and soft touchdown, as well as a couple other safety systems we have in place. We do have a retro thrust system that's at the base of the capsule that, again, as we near the desert, as we near the ground, again, is going to soften that landing.
Right, so we call that the terminal deceleration system, the TDS system, and it essentially pushes pressurized gas towards the desert. It's like a hockey puck, if you've ever played air hockey at an arcade. It sort of just floats over the desert as it's kicking up that West Texas dust.
That's right. So if you're watching for the first time, I always like to note that dust we want to see. It is a dusty desert that we have, so that retro thrust system is, again, what's going to push up that dust.
All right, less than 1,000 feet to go here before the retro thrust system fires. If we've got a good drone shot, look for those happy astronauts with thumbs up signs and clapping. See how close we can get.
And touchdown! Welcome back, astronauts.
I mean, perfect 10. Should we say that?
I'd say 10 out of 10 for our astronauts and for the whole program here at Blue Origin.
I mean, it's always incredible to see a great and easy touchdown for our New Shepard crew capsule. Now, our crew capsule recovery team is currently driving out in a convoy to meet the astronauts. They're going to safe the capsule and get ready to open the hatch.
I am just thrilled for our astronauts, and I know that they certainly are, and it's setting in right now as they have just freshly returned to Earth and our newly minted astronauts. That's 5 of those, and Elaine having been minted a second time.
Yeah, look, you still have that West Texas dust sort of lingering there from the retro firing system. The crew capsule comes back in a passive state, and so the team knows ahead of time more than likely where in the West Texas desert the capsule will land. Actually, from the drone shot we have there, we're pretty close to the road. So we'll anticipate that recovery team coming in on the road there to, to safe the capsule. They'll be led by crew member 7, and then they'll, greet their family members and just celebrate that they've been to space.
That's right. And as you can see, we're going to let our astronauts have their moment, take up that space inside of the capsule and commemorate their return to Earth with those that have only been on the journey with them and their other 5 astronauts that are on board with them.
So, Isabella, while we wait, we do have a special guest today, one of our former New Shepard astronauts, someone who has experienced this same flight profile firsthand that was in this crew capsule, Mario Ferreira. Mario, bom dia, como vai, tudo bem? How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Can you hear me good? Good afternoon. Congratulations.
Yes, Mario, I've got you loud and clear. Yeah, go ahead.
Congratulations to the new arrived team, especially to Jesus, our friend here from Spain that I was very happy to meet before he went into this space trip. And I just can feel how excited he is right now after this intensive and fantastic 10 minutes.
No, Mario, thank you for joining us to share your experience. How is it, to be in the crew capsule, having just gone to space, but before crew member 7 comes, before the family and friends? What is that moment like when it's just you and your crew touch down on terra firma?
Well, for sure, they're living a huge moment of adrenaline release. At the same time, they are feeling great by touching ground. They're looking over the windows to see who's approaching, but they all, for sure, if you get in the sound of the capsule, they're all excited, and a lot of us were screaming with all that adrenaline pumping up through our bodies, and with the happiness and joy of having such a thrilled experience and coming through, especially on this re-entry and coming down the capsule. It's a memorable experience for me. In terms of physical experience, the return was actually more intense than the takeoff, and of course the most memorable of all good feelings was being in space in zero gravity, looking out of the window. That is something that they will never forget, as I will never forget them.
No, Mario, you said it exactly right? You experience almost 3 Gs on the way up, 5 Gs on the way down, and 0 Gs when you're up there, so you really cover the full range there. Mario, let me ask, we know Jesus is very famous in his home country of Spain, and that he interviewed you for a documentary that recently aired on Amazon Prime Spain. I think it's called Calleja en el Espacio. Tell us about what that conversation was like and what you both talked about.
Well, he came over to Portugal, to my office, and we were in Portugal, and talked because we have some other things in common, not only being to space, as he was now. He knew I went on the 22 mission. So also, as a coincidence, I did the Rally Dakar, the most intense rally race that there is in the world. I did it still in Africa, was the last one in Africa. He did also the new wave of the rallies in the South Americas. He likes to explore the, Arctic, Antarctic, like I did also several times. So we had a lot in common, and he came by since we weren't too far apart, and he wanted to listen firsthand so I could explain how was the experience. So I think he felt that he would be better prepared by having this discussion and letting him know the procedures, how did I feel. So it was a conversation in advance. I hope that some of the things I explained to him of my experience did help for him to have better knowledge in advance and to have a great experience, as I bet he did.
Perfect. No, Mario, I think it's great to hear that as the astronaut community is growing, that you all are finding to be mentors and mentees and developing these relationships with each other. That sounds pretty special. When you flew on NS-22, I was at the desk with Victor Correa España from Brazil. He had a message for you. Is there anything now that you would like to tell Jesus before we wrap up?
Well, muchas felicidades, Jesus. Que te vaya bien. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and great to have you back, and looking forward to hear all the stories that you have, and look forward to see if you have some of those beautiful pictures inside the cabin.
Así es. Enhorabuena, Jesus. Mario, obrigado. Thank you very much for being here with us today. We really enjoyed hearing your perspective, and thank you for the message for Jesus.
Thank you very much. Congratulations to them all.
Isabella, just to hear back from someone who's done it firsthand and is sharing their experience with them, what are your thoughts?
Honestly, I love getting the feedback from our alumni. It's something to where I love to ask every single one of our flown astronauts, what do you wish you would have known before? What do you want passed down to the next generation of Blue Origin astronauts? And, you know, these feelings are so raw that we're getting ready to see as our astronauts are going to egress from that wonderful capsule.
Well, and let's return to the action out in West Texas. We've got some shots here of that recovery team. It looks like they've approached the crew capsule. So there's a few key sort of events here. They're moving the parachutes out of the way so that they're not a trip hazard. They're electrostatically discharging the crew capsule, performing any final venting maneuvers, and generally making it a safe space to have a celebration that we're going to see here live.
We've got that CM-17 preparing. You know, they might have to hack down a cactus or two to get those staircase nice and stable to celebrate as each and every one of these astronauts steps out and makes their first step returning to Earth since becoming astronauts.
No, and, I love playing the I Spy game. So, there's a parachute in the top left corner in a mesquite bush, it looks like. And you've got Rob Freelowski to the right. He's holding the key effectively for the crew capsule hatch, right? So he can unlock the crew capsule, break that seal, and welcome the astronauts home. But he's only going to do that once the environment around the crew capsule has been verified safe.
So anecdotally, just a fun fact, I loved hearing from Sarah Knights, one of our CM7s, that on our last mission, typically you'd think that we'd have astronauts ready to run out of the capsule, but in fact, as she went around, made sure every single one of them were ready, they took their time. They wanted to stay in, and, we want to give them that time. So we have our team prepared to capture these emotions as they re-embrace and rejoin their family back on Earth.
Right, and that is our director of the Crew Member 7 office, Sarah Knights, on the left there wearing the feather. So between Sarah and Rob and the camera crew that we have out there, we're going to look for some live reactions. There's Rob again. He's about to open the hatch.
Welcome back to Earth, astronauts. A perfect 10 if I've ever seen one.
Yeah! Returning astronaut Elaine Bess.
10 out of 10.
Thumbs up. And Jesús Calleja. Bienvenido de regreso, Jesús. Look at that. Look at that smile. And that's astronaut Shah. Dr. Scott.
Taking in that moment, much to celebrate. Look at Elaine.
Oh, what a wave. What a wave, and what a smile.
Ah, I love to see it. and our 6th astronaut celebrating his return to Earth.
Wow, what a moment. And so now that the area around the crew capsule has been verified safe, these astronauts have egressed from the capsule. We see some hugs, you know, shows of affection, return, and just pride and emotion, as you were saying.
It's difficult for me now to explain because it's incredible, it's so marvelous. The heart is beautiful, and the atmosphere is very one small line, and it's my small dream. I cry.
Absolutely.
Very emotional. Difficult for me to explain. Sorry, everybody, but it's very special.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
These guys, Jesús, the Finland of the atmosphere, it sounds like, has got him feeling all sorts of emotions.
It's fantastic. This bigger home, the hair, is very important protection. See you.
Elaine, how was your experience, Elaine? Congratulations.
I can't believe just what
You're an
happened.
astronaut. This is your whole life. You did it.
I think I left half myself up there. I feel like I'm still there. It's a wonder. It's a wonder. I can't wait till you go.
I'm so happy for you.
I mean, I thought I knew what home was. But when I was floating up there, and you see it right there, it's like you're home, and then you get this new definition of what that means. It's incredible. And like, honestly, in there, I felt like I was in a cradle that you just made for me, and I was so safe. I was set on the River Nile with you watching over me, and I was going to get to somewhere really good. And I'm here now.
And you're there, yeah.
Back on Earth, which is the greatest part. And I remember just like being up there, and there was this pull. There was this just, I know we were weightless, but it was just like calling me. Earth was calling.
Congratulations, Elaine. Astronaut Rogue.
Thank you so
Congratulations.
much. Oh, one more thing.
Astronaut Rogue looks like the call sign with the new definition for home. Hails from Australia, Singapore, and planet Earth.
The one I took up.
Yes.
All right, Team Blue. 750 of you went with me to space. Thank you so much. All right, that's for you.
Thank you so much.
Picture of Team
Congratulations.
Blue that accompanied astronaut Rogue. That's beautiful.
It's perfect,
Look
too.
at that, NS30, one of our newest repeat crew members.
Our great trainer. Excellent job, Rob. It was flawless, and the training helped us, really. Actually, I got a few things here, too. I'm going to give Cameron, who went up with me on our mission 19, NS19, I'm going to give him his and his husband's wedding ring. Did.
Excellent.
Anyway.
Oh my goodness, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
You did it again.
Yeah, I got to tell
Welcome
you.
to this crew.
I'll tell you, second time was better than the first, so everybody else who goes up, you gotta go twice.
Perfect 10.
Meaning it wasn't, okay,
I gotta go.
It wasn't better, it wasn't better because I didn't have him, but I'm just saying it just feels good every time.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, congratulations.
Thank you, Rob.
So much
Thank
for
you very
joining
much.
us again.
Thank you. Blue Origin.
Heard it here first. The second time is better than the first, and I mean, just what a special moment there between Cameron, who flew on NS19, with Lane, and just returning in a memento, the wedding rings. How special!
Everything I dreamed and more. The forces were wonderful. All the experiences in the blackness of space. It was everything you could dream of. Well, thank you so much.
You made it. Congratulations. You're officially an astronaut. Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you.
Congratulations,
You're good.
Doctor.
Thank you. Thank you, Blue Origin. Thank you.
Simply phenomenal. I love to see our astronauts that have gone to the stars and chosen to bring others with them, so that way their impact and their reach could go all the further. It has been an incredible day for all of us here at Blue Origin, and especially for our 6 astronauts on board. I've got to say it for the behalf of Blue, honestly, it was an honor to fly you to space today. And you know, you heard it from our astronauts first. I love to say it. You don't have to sell seats to space because truly it's one that you want to go back when you've gone for yourself. But I've got to tell you, if you would like to follow in the pioneering footsteps of these astronauts and purchase your seat to space, please visit blueorigin.com and click that big button that says Fly to Space. Your journey to visit the Kármán line is closer than you think.
And Isabella, if you'd like to purchase a mission patch to commemorate today's launch, head to the Blue Origin shop for patches and much, much more swag. Here's that patch again from today's flight, which is what our astronauts wore on their flight suits. Just a couple of highlights, right? The Southern Cross that represents Elaine Hyde's Australian and Singaporean heritage. The mountains representing Spanish mountaineer and adventurer Jesús Calleja, who has climbed the World 7 summit. The winding road sort of representing the road to space that each of our crew has taken to get here, and a dove with an olive branch representing Jesús Calleja's and Elaine Bess's hope for peace for all. My name is Eddie. For Isabella, for everybody here at Blue Origin who call, planet